or corporate finance was introduced to you, we discussed that there are three levels at which decision making is done in financial management. The three main decisions are investment decisions, financing, and third is the dividend decision. Now, financial management is all about effectively raising and utilizing various sources of finance. So, the firm, with the objective of maximizing shareholders' wealth, with the objective of wealth maximization, is working towards effective raising and utilization of funds. Now, utilization of funds, where the funds should be invested, how to evaluate the proposals that we have done in investment decisions. And basically, we were talking there about the long term investment decisions for which we have covered capital budgeting. The short term investment decisions or working capital management we will be doing in the last unit. Working capital management. Now we come to the second main decision, which is the effective raising of funds. Now, firm has multiple options or sources of finance before it. What the firm needs to ensure is that funds are raised at nominal cost, at a reasonable cost, and then they also earn a return which is able to cover the cost incurred in procuring them. So you need to ensure that the return which the firm is earning on the investment made is covering the cost of capital. Return cost of capital, or COC. Cost of capital is the cost of raising funds. Now, if the return is greater than the cost of capital, only then the firm is adding wealth to the shareholders. It is improving the market price of the shares. The firm is moving on the path of wealth maximization. If the firm is not able to cover the cost of capital, then it is declining. Then it is failing to add wealth to the shareholders. It is more of a declining firm. Under financing decisions, we will be talking about multiple aspects. One of those aspects is the cost of capital. We are talking about the capital structure. We will be talking about leverage. We will be talking about EBIT, EPS analysis. So these are separate chapters in this unit. We'll take them up one by one. But today we are discussing what is the cost of capital and why is cost of capital so important. Now, broadly, two sources of funds, equity and debt. And within equity, you have equity share capital, preference share capital. Under debt, you have debentures, you have loans taken by the firm. We focus on three main sources of capital, main sources of finance: equity shares, preference shares, and debentures, debt. There's one more source of finance, which is more of an implicit source of finance. Implicit means internal source of finance, which is retained earnings. Retained earnings, because they are the earnings of the firm which have not been distributed. They are also used for reinvestment purposes. There is a cost involved, and that cost is known as the implicit cost of capital. So, for all these sources of finance, equity, preference, debt, and retained earnings, there is a cost involved, and determination of that cost we will be doing here in this chapter. So, cost of capital is the minimum required return that the firm must earn to cover the cost of sources of finance to maximize the wealth of the shareholders. Now, cost of capital can be studied at various levels. So, one thing is that we study specific cost and overall cost of capital. Specific would be the cost of individual sources of finance, cost of equity अलग कैलकुलेट करा, कॉस्ट ऑफ डेट अलग कैलकुलेट करा, बट जब आप दोनों का एवरेज लेके ओवरऑल कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल कैलकुलेट करते हो फर्म का, दैट इज मोर that has more practical purpose. Okay, because this cost of capital will now be used as a benchmark to evaluate the investment proposals. So one concept is calculation of specific and overall cost of capital. Second is explicit cost and implicit cost. So like I told you, the opportunity cost of capital, had the retained earnings been distributed as dividends, then the shareholders would themselves invest it and earn something, earn some return. So, return on retained earnings or cost of retained earnings, cost of using the retained earnings in investment proposals before the firm is implicit cost, and it is calculated as the opportunity cost of the opportunity which has been foregone to use these funds. Cost of next best alternative. Explicit cost is when we are calculating cost of equity raised from the market, debt taken from the bank, and so on. So these all funds have been raised and then they are being used. So this calculation of cost is explicit cost, cost of raising the funds. Why is cost of capital an important concept in financial management? First and foremost, it provides the hurdle rate or the cutoff rate. Hurdle rate or cutoff rate means when under various techniques of capital budgeting, we are evaluating the project. Then that minimum required rate of return which we were using to calculate NPV, net present value, or used for calculating the profitability index, that benchmark value, that percentage at which you are discounting the future cash flows, that rate of return is the cost of capital which we are calculating here. Also, in techniques like IRR, we compare the IRR. IRR is the internal rate of return with the cost of capital. So, cost of capital is the hurdle rate or cutoff rate. If your project is giving you IRR above the cost of capital, you accept the project, else the project is rejected. So, IRR जैसी और टेक्निक्स के लिए जो कट ऑफ रेट होता है, बेंचमार्क रेट होता है, दैट इज द कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. एंड these decisions also help in evaluation of management's performance. So a good firm A good management would make sure that the cost of raising funds is minimized while the return on the funds is maximized. So that is the objective of a good managerial setup. Now we move to calculation of individual cost of capital, and we start with the first source of finance, cost of debt. So debt is the borrowing, acknowledgement of borrowing which the firm has taken from the public or from a financial institution. Now, a debenture, a debt is unique in the sense that they give tax benefit to the firm. Tax benefit, why and how? Let's see the flow chart done already multiple times. EBIT minus interest. This can also be known as PBIT, profit before interest and taxes. If there is any depreciation, it is added and you get the cash flow. Now, if the firm is using debt, then that reduces the tax liability for the firm, because before calculating the taxable income here, we are reducing the income by the amount of interest. तो जो इंटरेस्ट है इनडायरेक्टली वो टैक्स सेविंग कर रहा है, क्योंकि आपकी टैक्सेबल इनकम रिड्यूस हो रही है एंड यू आर पेइंग लोअर अमाउंट ऑफ टैक्स. This is the biggest benefit of using debt in your financial structure. It is tax deductible. The interest paid on debt, the return, the cost of debt is the interest paid. So the interest paid on debt is tax deductible. So these are two aspects of debt which we need to keep in mind. One, we are paying interest. Second, this interest is tax deductible. Now there are two types of debentures, and on the basis of types, the calculation of debt cost will also be different. First is the perpetual debt. Perpetual means something that goes on forever. So जो नियर फ्यूचर में आपको डेट वापस रिटर्न करता हुआ नहीं दिख रहा, that will continue forever, that debt is known as irredeemable debt. So say a company has issued debentures without specifying the redemption date, then that would be an example of irredeemable debt. So in case of irredeemable debt, cost of debt is equal to I 1 minus T upon NP. I is the interest, T is the tax rate, NP is net proceeds. So what do we mean by net proceeds? जिस कॉस्ट पे, जिस अमाउंट पे आपने डेट इशू करा है, if there are some extra costs which are adjusted through the issue amount, then the net value that is left is the net proceeds. So net proceeds is basically the issue value minus if there are any flotation cost for the firm. Flotation cost is the cost of issuing the security. So they say the cost of paying to the broker, brokerage cost जो होती है, जो लॉयर की फीस होती है, पेपर वर्क आप करवा रहे हो फॉर द इशू, आप अप्रूवल ले रहे हो, अंडर राइटिंग कोई एक्सपेंसेस हैं, तो वो सब आपकी फ्लोटेशन कॉस्ट होती है. एंड व्हेन रिड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम द इशू वैल्यू, इशू प्राइस, you get the net proceeds for the firm. So, in case of irredeemable or perpetual debt, this is how you calculate the cost of debt. The second scenario is for redeemable debt. Redeemable debt will be the one where the time period for which the debt has been issued is specified. So there is a expiry date, there is a maturity date for the debentures that have been issued or loan that has been taken. So here there are two methods of calculating the cost of debt. So one is a long method. Long method is discounting of all cash flows. So cost of debt, cost of debt. Say I am assuming that the debt was for 2 years, interest for first year. KB is the cost of debt. You get interest at the end of second year, and then at the end of second year, the debt is redeemed. So then the cost of debt will be, sorry, the present cost or present value of debt will be the discounting of future expected cash flows. अब ये cash flows जिस rate of discount पे calculate करे जाएंगे, that is your cost of debt. So to calculate the cost of debt, we can use the hit and trial method. आप अलग अलग डिस्काउंट रेट्स पुट करो, आपको दिया होगा कि आज की डेट में 100 रुपए का डेट है और 10% इस पर इंटरेस्ट है. It will be redeemed at face value. So you know everything in the question. What you don't know is KD. So through trial and error, you can calculate the value of KD. So I start putting different discount rates. 9 से start करा, 9 put करा. After putting 9 here and solving 9% here and solving both the parts, is LHS coming equal to RHS? You will check. नहीं आया, फिर 10% डाला, left hand side equal आ रही है right hand side के, again you will check. So you keep trying. Finally the discount rate at which LHS becomes equal to RHS, that discount rate is your cost of debt. So this is a lengthy method and involves a number of attempts. So there is a shortcut method. We are not using the long method. It's just for your understanding that we can calculate the cost of debt through this method also, calculating the present value of all future expected cash flows. But the shortcut method, the method which we will be using, so that calculates the cost of debt as, so this is the formula. I stands for interest, T is the tax rate, RV redemption value, the amount that you will get at the redemption of the debenture, NP net proceeds, जो इशू के टाइम पे आपने फंड्स रेज करे थे per unit. N is the duration of the debt. This is how the shortcut method is interpreted. Let's start with questions on calculation of cost of debt. Then the concept will be more clear. Okay, so the first question is there on your screen. Yes, Pranav, you have a question.
मैम जो लॉन्ग मेथड था उसमें एलएचएस से हमने कितनी कॉस्ट ली थी?
LHS equal to
मैम एलएचएस में किस चीज़ की कॉस्ट पुट करनी है जो लॉन्ग मेथड है
जैसे
उसकी?
आपको मार्केट कॉस्ट दी होगी डेट की कि एक डिबेंचर 100 रुपए में अवेलेबल है मार्केट में।
में कॉस्ट ऑफ डेट और जो एलएचएस में कॉस्ट है ये अलग अलग होगी, मतलब एक गिवन होगी इनमें से?
आपको सब चीज गिवन होगी, आपको डिस्काउंट रेट नहीं गिवन होगा।
ओके मैम।
वो डिस्काउंट रेट आपका कॉस्ट ऑफ डेट है और वो आपने कैलकुलेट करना है। आई विल शो यू इन द क्वेश्चन। लेट्स स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग द क्वेश्चन, देन आई विल टेल यू हाउ यू कैन यूज द लॉन्ग मेथड। Okay, so let's start with the first question. First question is on perpetual debt. Perpetual debt वो है जो रिडीम होने की जिसकी कोई डेट नहीं है। रिडीम का मतलब होता है वापस करने की। तो कंपनी अभी नियर फ्यूचर में ये डेट रिटर्न नहीं कर रही। इट इज अ 10% debt of rupees 1 lakh. The company's tax rate is 50%. You have to determine the cost of capital before tax as well as after tax. Now, if nothing is mentioned in the question, we always calculate the cost of debt after tax because the whole purpose of using debt is to get the tax advantage. So, I'll start with the first part when debt is issued at par, and here we will have two cases, KD, simple KD and KD after tax. जो ये 10% है ये आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट है, ये आपका कॉस्ट नहीं है, ये आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट है जो आपने पे करना है डेट पे। अभी आई विल नॉट गो इनटू डिटेल्स। व्हेन एंड इफ यू स्टडी finance in the third year, tab we will be doing that there is a difference between cost of debt and the interest rate. तो अभी के फिलहाल के लिए आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट है। one of you has, Aman I think has calculated also. So before tax, this will be the method in which you are calculating. So it, this will be 10% without tax, and after tax so that comes to 5%. One method, you put the formula again. Second is that you KD after tax is equal to KD into 1 minus tax. So that will also give you 5%. Okay, so please solve for the two parts after this. 10% डिस्काउंट पे आपको दोनों के डी कैलकुलेट करने हैं और 10% प्रीमियम पे भी कैलकुलेट करने हैं। स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग, देन वील गेट बैक टू द आंसर। रेस्ट ऑफ यू ऑल्सो पोस्ट आंसर्स। अमान, आपने सारा आफ्टर टैक्स कैलकुलेट करा, कैलकुलेट बिफोर टैक्स ऑल्सो यूजिंग।
ओके मैम।
Rest of you also put the answers in the chat box. Okay, so for the second part, your net proceeds will fall since there is a 10% discount. 1 lakh का debt आपका 90,000 पे issued होगा, and you are getting 9% value of 9% as the cost of debt before tax and 4.5% after tax. Similarly, for the last part, you are getting 4.54 as after tax cost of debt and 11.11 as the before tax cost of debt. So 9.09% is before tax cost in the second part. प्रीमियम में आप रिडेम्पशन वैल्यू में अमाउंट ऐड कर दोगे प्रीमियम की, एंड डिस्काउंट इज डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम द फेस वैल्यू व्हेन यू हैव अ केस ऑन डिस्काउंट। जब प्रीमियम है तो इशू प्राइस पे प्रीमियम की अमाउंट ऐड कर दी, रिडेम्पशन वैल्यू विल बी डिफरेंट। If nothing given, we assume that redemption is happening at par, at the face value. So this is how you calculate the cost of debt when you have a perpetual debt. Let's move to a question where we have redeemable debt. So here in this question example 3, you have a company that is issuing 10% debentures with face value 1000. Time period 5 years. जो इंटरेस्ट है वो हमेशा फेस वैल्यू पर पे किया जाता है, चाहे आपका डिबेंचर डिस्काउंट पे इशूड हो या प्रीमियम पे, योर इंटरेस्ट विल ऑलवेज बी अ परसेंटेज ऑफ द फेस वैल्यू। तो एवरी ईयर 100 rupees will be the interest paid by the firm irrespective of किस अमाउंट पर डिबेंचर इशू हुआ है। After that, you are given debentures are issued at a discount of 5% and flotation cost of 1%. Now, flotation cost is the cost, as I already told you, the cost of issuing the debt. Cost of issuing the debt, it can be in form of brokerage, it can be in the form of lawyer fees, underwriting cost, etc. इसके अलावा इस डिबेंचर को आप डिस्काउंट पर इशू कर रहे हो तो आपको अब अपनी नेट प्रोसीड्स कैलकुलेट करनी है। फेस वैल्यू 1000 Discount 5% means 50 rupees. And then you have a flotation cost of 1%, which is 100 rupees. Also, there is no redemption value given. So we assume कि जो redemption होगी that will be at par. If nothing is specified in the question, we assume that the redemption will take place at par. Okay, so one correction here, ये 10 rupees होगा, मैंने 100 ले लिया. So your net proceeds will be rupees 940. This is the amount you are getting on each unit of debenture at the time of issue. अब दो तरीके हैं क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के. लॉन्ग मेथड में हम क्या करते हैं मैं आपको बता देती हूँ. You discount all the future cash flows. तो आज की डेट में जो वैल्यू है डिबेंचर की, that will basically be the present value of all future expected cash flows. अब लास्ट ईयर में आपको 1100 रुपीज मिलेंगे, 100 रुपीज इंटरेस्ट का और 1000 रुपीज जो आपका रिडेम्पशन वैल्यू है. So this is what LHS is, as you were asking, Pranav. LHS is the cost at which you are issuing the debenture today. That is the net proceeds. राइट हैंड साइड में आपने सारे एक्सपेक्टेड कैश फ्लोज लिए. अब जिस डिस्काउंट रेट पे लेफ्ट हैंड साइड राइट हैंड साइड के इक्वल होगी, दैट विल बी द कॉस्ट ऑफ डेट. So you start putting the cost of debt randomly. जैसे आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हो 10% से. 10% पुट करा, दोनों वैल्यूज देखी कि राइट और लेफ्ट मैच हो रही है कि नहीं, नहीं हो रही तो 11% पुट करा या 9% पुट करा एंड सो ऑन. So we will not be following that. We are using the shortcut method, which is I am writing here for your reference again. There is no, okay, there is a tax rate given 50%. So I just check the answer. How much is this coming to? Different answers. Please check the calculation and the formula that you have used. I have a different answer. Rest of you also solve. Recheck the calculation. Please give the final answer. Yes, what happened? Should I ask individually then?